Oh, get your cups up.
Hey, we're live.
Cups up.
It's
Come
time.
on, Chuck. There
And
it
there's
is.
Chuck. There we
It's
go.
coffee time. Happy Saturday,
time.
everybody. It is poker time. Welcome if you're coming over from the Coffee and Ham Radio's redirect. This is Frequency Frenzy, and if you're new to this channel, please make sure you are subscribed. We only have 229 subscribers, so we need more because we always need more. Like, we need more radios.
That's right.
We need more coffee. If y'all need some coffee, we are drinking our morning net blend, and it's
Amen.
available at hamradios.coffee. Some good stuff. You can see it in the Jim's favorite word, the Chiron, down
The
below.
Chiron.
The
I'll have to look that
Chiron.
word up. Chiron.
Yeah.
In Greek mythology, Chiron was held to be the superlative centaur amongst his brethren. Seems legit. That's what I would call that.
I thought that was what it was called, or the crawler. I've heard the crawler and I've heard Chiron.
I've heard ticker.
And I'm not in broadcast media, so I don't really know.
Jim, can you bring up the page that
Got my
shows
glasses here
fine
just
folks
in
at
case.
home how to? Or maybe I'm spelling Chiron wrong. How to get started?
Chiron.
I think it's.
Oh, it's a
under
Y.
help.
It's a Y.
CHY.
The
A
Chiron. I
text-based
don't.
graphic overlay displayed at the bottom of a television screen or
There
film
you go.
frame as closed captioning or the crawl of a newscast.
That's right.
All right. So we have 4 sprints set up for today. The first one starts 10 minutes after the hour. So you all have some time to get your stations set up. And this page is the help page at frequencyfrenzy.live. And all of this information is linked in the description down below. And this will get you all set up to send your scores. Every time you log a contact, you hit the log button on your WSJTX or JTDX screen, it will upload. If you are running QRP or you are running what's the other one? I guess we're not doing POTA points, but it knows that you're in a park if you're giving away that you're in a park. Indicate that on your log screen. See where it says TX Power 40, and then click that retain button so you don't have to change it all the time. Just change it when you do change it. And Jeff is already anteing up 1 Baofeng and a TID H2. All right, so the pot's to you, gentlemen. Ante up.
Right.
So this
here?
is 5-card
cat.
stud. I hear him.
Yeah.
So this is 5-card stud. So you get your first 5 cards. Cards are based off of amount of power used and amount of distance for the contact. We are allowing the work bands today because this is not a contest. There we go.
His dog is gone, and he's
Oh,
not been. He's
lonely.
very upset since his puppy's gone.
Yep. Sorry to hear that, Jim. You gonna get a new dog, or you
No,
gonna run out of animals?
I'm 61. I think I'm good. Just kind of let it slowly.
Just
matriculate out.
coast across the
Yeah.
finish line.
Yeah. Plus, which needy cat. I'm good.
There was a needy cat that showed up at the campground last night. Friendly cat. Oh, Dan needs more than 10 minutes to set up the station. Dan, you can have 25 minutes, and then you'll be ready for sprint number 2. Hope that's enough.
Right.
Was he putting up the
So-
antenna too, or what?
Yeah, he doesn't have the radio or the antenna or anything. They're all in a box.
Oh. All
Jason, you're striking a nerve early. Don't poke the bear this early in the morning. It's going to be a long day.
And I posted the link directly to the help screen in the chat, and there is the direct link to the main page. And the help screen is up in the right-hand corner of up here under our logo. You can get
says
to
help.
help from there and
Be really
rules
hard to
and
find.
settings. And if you speak English, you ought to be okay.
Jason says it's from the bottom of his heart, not the heart of his bottom.
Yes, Aloysius, he is 14, and other than being a chunky boy, he's a good kid. He's just we had to put the dog down a couple weeks ago, and he randomly decides it's time to walk around and cry, and this is required. Get him to shut up.
Yeah. My dog was bugging me yesterday and finally figured out that she wanted water because
Bad owner.
she goes
Bad.
through water fast.
Bad Chuck.
Bad
That
Chuck.
dog. Labs drink a lot of water.
Yes, they do.
18 and a half years old, Jason. Jeez, that's an old cat.
Yeah. Jason, I had one that was about the same age.
I think I had one too.
So let's
Great
talk about
cat,
something
too.
happy.
Yeah. This guy's awesome. Thanks. And he's
Yeah.
he's dressed for the show. He's got his tuxedo on.
Yeah.
Yep.
Coffee is delicious.
It is.
We like the Private Reserve. Is
Out
really
of the
good.
3 flavors that Coffee and Ham Radios offers at hamradios.coffee.
I'm just saying, a little bit of marketing. Also, we've
Hamradios.coffee.
restocked recently on antennas at coffeeandhamradios.com. So we have every model available in stock. Chuck made kits the other day.
We actually never ran out, but for some reason we didn't have 3 that I had in the store. But
Here's where he goes. I knew it. He's
We
going to blame
sold
the
those the
website.
next day.
The website
He
doesn't count
didn't call out
anything
any names,
right.
but look who's guilty conscious just spoke right up.
No, it
Yeah,
ain't nobody's guilty conscience. It's I only put in the number he tells me. That's it.
yeah, but I
That's all
think you
can do.
forgot to put those in.
I did forget to put some in. That's correct. I did.
But I upped that count by 20. So
Yeah, you put 20
That's
in
what
which
I'm saying.
flavor?
You made some new
the
kits.
Apollos, I did the
The
Apollos,
N10
and I've
half
got,
wave. Awesome.
and then I put together all my BNC kits because I put every BNC kit together just to make sure that when you get it, that it threads and that none of the little tits are missing, which somehow some guy had one missing.
the
We know
what?
how.
What did he say?
That was for Jim.
The
He
ground
likes those.
lugs.
The ground
He
lugs.
just shortened it to its initials. He acronymized it. Is that a word?
Yeah.
Did I just make that
So
up?
I check every one of them, and then I put a bunch of the Mercury stuff together, the little joiners. I put those together, so it's just easier when I.
Oh, you can
when I
say
grab
tip, but you
4.
can't say butt connector.
Yeah, you can't say butt connector. That's terrible.
Nice.
The
Don't say
booty
butt connector
connector.
ever. Don't ever say butt
So,
connector.
Chris, we have been filling up for Christmas, so these things do make fantastic Christmas presents. Get one for every ham you know. And some
Or
coffee, too.
get one of each for yourself. Who cares about the rest of those people?
Right?
Yeah, and I'll be gearing up the Mercuries next because I think we're down to like 3 or 4 of those. Plus, I have Pacificon coming.
Morning,
Yeah.
Bill.
And the
Maybe.
Mercury
I think I'm
is
going.
the linked dipole kit. You're going to take a bunch of them with you to Pacificon. Are you driving up or flying up?
Yeah, it's like half hour, 45 minutes from my house. Half hour from
Oh,
my
I thought
house.
it was in Seattle for some reason. I don't know why I
No,
thought it was so north.
that's CPAC is what you're
CPAC.
thinking of.
Yeah.
Where is Pacificon? Is that in?
Pacificon's it's in San Ramon, I think,
Okay.
California, just over the hill from me. A little
Now,
ways.
what? I've asked you this before, but I don't remember your answer. How big is Pacificon compared to Huntsville?
It's comparable to Huntsville without having the flea market. They only do the flea market on Sundays because they do it in their parking lot and there's just not enough room. It's about the size, not quite as big as Huntsville, but pretty close.
Nice.
It used to be, and it's starting. We're starting to get people back from the.
We've got to be getting close to
The 19.
start time if we aren't already started. Did we miss that?
We might have because I was not paying attention.
Starts in about a minute and a half.
minute and a half.
All right. 1.25. 1.5.
I will be
Sorry.
I'm going to be going to the Stone Mountain Ham Fest the first weekend of November up in Georgia.
Dan is saying he misses the Commodore vids. Dan, they moved over to temporarily offline Retro Tech channel, and I am still trying to find a way and a voice and a mission that I can do in the RV while I'm out rolling around.
You had quite a stash of that stuff at the Northern Tier location back when
Yeah.
you were fixed base operator.
Yep. It was a lot of fun, repairing them, building them, figuring out what's wrong with them. But what we've learned on Nuggets the past couple of weeks in a row is that when you're troubleshooting something, it is really good to have a known working version that you can pull parts out. So we looked at the MFJ TNC, which uses the Zilog Z80 SIO chip instead of our normal 8250 or 16550 UARTs. And I don't have any chip to swap into its place to see that it's working or not. So we just
15
guess. Like
seconds.
I run the oscilloscope probe on it and it does the thing, but I don't know if it's doing the right thing or the wrong thing. And I'm not
It's
getting
making
English.
a jiggly line.
Yeah, it must be good.
5, 4,
4.
3,
Get ready,
Two.
folks.
It's already
One.
started. You're late.
light
You're
them
late.
up.
Start your transmitters.
Light them up.
In 9.
Kick the
PYA,
tires and
strong
light the
signal if you're
fires.
out there.
Morning, Chris. Chris, I'll send you a link in Discord. If you're bored, you can come join us.
12
Not
meters
mandatory.
is doing quite well this morning here in Alabama. So East Coast-ish. Chuck said California is dead to 12 meters right now.
Our sun's not even up yet. It's
Right.
just starting to come up now. I got my first contact. This guy was super strong, man.
Where are
And,
you operating, Chuck?
I'm on 10. That was about the only thing. 10 and 30 was the only thing that had anything for me. But in 9 PYA, if you're out there, man, you're booming, whatever you're using.
I'm being brave. I just searched. I searched Google for muff map.
1F.
There it is.
That's probably
Yeah.
the difference between
Life and death. I'm married.
Say-
You know what that would be like,
safe to show. Yeah, well, if mama can see your screen, you're going to die.
right? So here's what the muff looks
That's
like
right.
today. That is 5.3 megahertz. If any of you guys are on 60 meters, that's
Look at
40
that, I'm
meters.
leading.
Looking pretty
I'm
good.
leading.
There's 10 meters, 10
With an
megahertz,
8.
30 meters. Oh, 20 meters is fantastic. Look at that.
20 is money all the time. It's
21
20's been
megahertz.
great.
Still,
Once we get
still
above
my
20,
logo, huh?
I start to forget what the meters versus megahertz is. Like
Oh.
18 is 17 meters.
17,
21.
yeah.
I'll figure it out.
21
15's
is
21.
15. Yeah.
Yeah. Chris has an interesting point. Where are they located? So that is true. It's the muff,
That's
which is
true.
based on the transmitter origin. So when you're looking at like the solar ham maps as an example, let me pull up solar ham maps. That's for that gentleman's QTH, I believe, or at least it's wherever the meter is.
And it, muff with 2 F's is at that truck stop down at the interstate.
Watch it. The grandkids might be on this morning if they're up.
And the sun is a big ball of fire in the sky, so this is probably good for like most of North America.
Right.
If the person observing this is in North America, but if you're in like Asiatic Russia right now, it's dark
He's still
through the other
dark.
side of the globe.
Yeah, they're darker than us, probably.
He's dark. Cannot see comrades.
Same with our buddy over there in Hawaii, Hamstick Eric. He's
that
he's
is
probably
a
still
great.
sleeping.
I love that website. There's a lot of good information on there, but by cracky, there's so many things I have to go research to know what the hell they're telling me.
Yeah, what is this? What does this mean?
And I say this with love because like scientists made this, and I'm not a scientist, and I don't even play one on YouTube. There's so many indexes, right? Can we have like a master index of indexes to say, okay,
One index to rule them all.
right? Well, I'm saying today's a really good day to ham. Might as well go work in the shop because it's raining and the master index says you're not going to talk to anything. Right?
Well, so like an SFI right now is 291. Is that really good or is that really bad?
I see. I don't know. Yeah.
I don't know.
I thought it was like anything above 150 is good, but I don't normally use this. I just go out and play radio, and I don't really care about band conditions until I need to make excuses as to why my radio station didn't work
Well,
that day. Then I go look.
I don't
Right.
ever
Is it
look.
bad
Yeah,
for
I'm
you?
with you. I just go radio and it's like, oh, it's not working too well today. Okay.
My
let's
buddy
move
that
on.
does a lot of FT8 called me up yesterday and he goes, "Hey, are you hitting any of this opening on 10?" He's like all over the world on 10. Just
Morning, Chris. How are you?
only
Doing
2
well.
elements too, man.
How you guys
Welcome.
doing this morning?
Doing
got an
fantastic.
awesome
Chris
area, though.
is the
Good.
developer behind this fantastic software interface that Jim is sharing on his screen.
The
The
brains.
scoreboard, the heuristics, the logistics, I don't know. I'm running out of istics words here.
Voodoo, bloodletting.
Witchcraft.
Voodoo.
Witchcraft.
There we
I
go.
like it. Yeah.
Oh, it's anybody's game right now too. Wow.
All right.
So if you would like to support the further development of this show, there are links. We're using Buy Me a Coffee right now until we get to the 1,000 subscriber mark. And you can do FT4, no problem. Morton, welcome. Good morning. Good evening, whatever time it is in your world. He lives on a different planet than we do.
Oh, my buddy was actually doing FT4 yesterday.
I find
I've
that
never tried
FT4 is only really good on contest weekends. Somebody said FT4 is a contest mode and everybody believes it instead of just like, oh, it's faster, let's do this.
Usually, if I can't find a clear spot on FT8, I'll move to FT4.
Go to
check there.
FT4.
Right.
I may have to start calling because I'm not doing very good hunting right now.
Chris, we
I
need to
did on
send
the
you a check
first
for
one.
the Amazon hosting. Also, it's been a while.
Sure. I
Gotta
won't
keep-
say no.
Got to pay to keep the lights on. Chris says, I use the KP index. I know when it gets to 7, then I need to go look. For you guys down south, that might be a little higher. Just a tad.
Seems
Chris,
like
are you in
everything's
the-
running well.
Are you in the contest today? Are you playing?
I am. I'm in right now, but I'm probably only going to be in for a little bit. I have somewhere I have to be after 11, so I'm only going to be able to hang out for a few rounds with you guys.
All right. Jim, find him on the scoreboard. No, he's number 7. There he is.
Well, he was.
Well, he was number 7.
So if you go to the top, there's a little search now, so you can just start typing in call signs right there.
Oh, KC3PIB. Type it in.
Calm down. Damn, Steve.
Look
I
at
just
that.
get
Relax.
excited.
You did. It's like,
I do.
easy, cowboy. I'm typing.
Faster,
I think-
faster.
I think Steve requested that feature, so
Probably. So that gives us Chris, our fantastic developer here, and this is Jim with only 1 queen.
Yep.
Jim misses me. Otherwise,
I
it'd be
miss
2
you,
queens.
Steve. I miss you, Steve.
Jim is a queen, right?
Hey, Frank's here. Frank, are you playing along?
Frank the Tank?
Which Frank?
Frank the Tank.
Tank.
Tank
Frank
Radio
Tank.
Frank. Quiet Frank.
California Frank or Texas Frank?
Texas.
Nobody
Until it
has a
hurts
pair
says
yet.
The time
I'd have to
setting
have
does
2
not
cars
correct
to have
for
a
daylight
pair.
savings time versus daylight wasting time.
we'll take a look at it.
Frank's going to come and join us on the Frequency Frenzy one of these mornings, one of these Thursdays, whichever day we decide to do it next.
He should take his new Poseidon out and then try it out. Portable,
We
even.
should. Yeah, Frank built a Poseidon antenna on his channel, so if you need an example of how to do it, there's an example of how to do it. I got my Aries on the air last week.
Boy,
He has the
the
Aries
whole
also.
solar thing has gotten quite a lot of engagement in the chat. And good on you guys for understanding that. Like I said, I just turn on the radio, and if it works, aces.
There is so much stuff to do and learn in ham radio.
Yeah.
If you're the kind of person that gets bored easily, become a ham and you will never run out of things to complain that you don't have time to do.
That is true.
Stephen Reynolds, I am running the Poseidon Mark II, also known as the Kronos,
The big boy.
the big boy,
Yeah.
which Chuck and Ape need to get their brains together and
I think we're
Finished
still
up.
trying. He's still trying to decide what. I still
don't
like
know.
the green. I still like the green one because it'll tune with any.
The green roid.
Any tuner. Yeah.
I'm
And
using
I don't
a,
think the difference is going to be that different. But
I'm using a 61, a 240 61, and it works fine.
So John Hummel Newell is asking what the letter in brackets besides the call sign is on the screen, and he's got a Canadian call sign, so I can understand that. But if you take a
that's our
look,
level.
it is E for extra, G for general. Technicians are allowed to play on 10 meters. You can do this.
it's be
And then
fun for
our
it.
buddy Morton, LB0FI, we don't know what his license class is. We haven't gotten the Swedish
It's so
license
high we
classes
can't
programmed
even.
in.
We can't even.
Morton's
even
license is classified,
Yeah, it's kind of like
Level.
Phillips.
The
level
letters don't go
Swedish
that high.
14.
And then I don't think we have any. Yeah, here's VK5 Colin playing from Australia. We don't have Australian licenses programmed in either.
As
As far as we know, Morton could be a third stage guild navigator.
It'll pull all the license information if we have access to it. So hopefully it'll be there. If not, it just won't display. So not everywhere, not all countries make that information available. And you'll even notice, I've noticed in some of the contacts, you'll get like advanced and some other longer strings in there, which are kind of interesting. So especially from some of the
Jeff, we
foreign
know-
countries.
Jeff,
Yeah,
thanks
Jeff,
for
we know
explaining
he's
our
not
joke.
Swedish.
We know he's Norwegian.
Can't tell a ham a joke. No, we've
Abe-
always called him the Swede since the beginning because he'll actually drive across the border and activate parks in Sweden.
Yeah. Yeah, he lives in Norway right here, and Sweden is right here, and it's like less than I drive to work for him to drive to Sweden. And Ape started that, calling him the Swede,
Yeah.
and
He could
he is officially
he could
the
sit in his
Swede.
ham shack and sneeze and get somebody sick in Sweden.
That's exactly right. So when he wants to see ABBA live, he just has to drive across the road. Be all right.
Let's see what's going on here.
We got a pair of aces in the lead. Chuck, are you even on the board?
Yeah, I was on real early, then can't get a contact. I may see it. I'm a little high.
I'm afraid to find out. I think my lawnmower guy must have dorked up the radials.
So this is one of those things where you don't just try to brute force your way through contacts. You have to kind of figure out a little bit. So we add a bit of strategy to FT8 for you. So if you look at the heuristics on the scoreboard page, let me see if I can find them. It will tell you.
Where do I need to go?
I got it because I was already thinking about it in my head. It'll tell you like what power level to run, what band to run, what your probability of getting cards is based on the distance of the contact. So you have to kind of know a little bit of geography, know a little bit of call signs, know a little bit about propagation, know a little bit about your power levels, and all that kind of jazz in order to figure out, where we're going or where we're not going to make good contacts.
Yeah, I made that first contact, and now I can't make a contact.
Right.
I was about to
Chuck,
say the same thing.
I'm with you. I got one right off the bat, and the BZQR
I was the leader until somebody else got a
T1
card.
G4 X index is dumped on me apparently.
Right.
Yes, we should have been paying attention to those numbers.
Hertz is saying it's too
guess.
much for Saturday morning. Hertz, just least amount of power, longest distance. That's the easiest rule to go by. But if you're trying to fill in, or if you've got an amp and you can make that rare contact, that'll get you those extra points. There's an advantage in there that'll help bump everybody out. Japan gave me a queen. There you go.
And there's an element of just pure luck. So
Right.
Yeah.
Kind of like
hopefully
cards.
luck be a lady,
Right. So we've got some housekeeping to do on the Buy Me a Coffee front. So someone is how they identified themselves 6 days ago, dropped a $5 donation. WW5JD a month ago when we did this gave out $5. John WV3L, that's our buddy Nerdy Jedi in the chat, $25 a month ago. So that catches us up on the Buy Me a Coffee support for the Frequency Frenzy show. Thank you guys.
Thank
Should,
you.
It
Should we
probably
dance?
helps to be on the right frequency, doesn't it? I must have hit
Oh.
my.
It also
A
helps if
VFO.
you're actually running power.
0 watts, Jim?
No, I was on the amp profile and not the regular profile, so the power's turned down to run through the amp, and I'm not running the amp. So I was like, probably like 10 watts maybe. No wonder I felt sad and because I was QRP.
Doesn't your amp talk back to your radio to tell your radio to CFD, calm down?
I think it does. I know it does because it'll pop up a little thing. You're overdriving.
Mm.
Calm yourself down.
That's a nice thing. My amp will take everything my radio will put out, and every once in a while I look over and it's like, why am I at over 1,000?
Well, I don't
run
I'm
it that
running.
high. I run
I'm
about
running this amp
700.
on 110 volts, and Flex straight up tells
I
you
am too.
you're not going to get 1,500 watts out of 110
Correct.
volts.
Just ain't enough
So-
juice there.
Mm.
Yeah. No, there's no. It's math. It ain't going to happen. It ain't no way you're getting 1,500 watts on 110 volts.
I know. Mine gets 1,000 out, and that's what it is on either one. But that's only 1,000. So
On
Yeah.
110 or 220.
yeah, both.
On 110.
It's more efficient on 220,
Yeah.
but it'll still do it. Mine will still do it on 110.
We got 45 seconds to end this sprint.
Well,
Finish
I'm
up
gonna
them
end it with one
contacts.
card probably.
Right, Hertz? I know. I was accidentally QRP. I feel soiled. I'm going to go take a shower right now.
Wash the filth off. Well, luckily, if it's QRP, there's not that filth on you.
Right.
Right.
Or does it make up? So it's, if you run 1,000 watts, you only get 500 watts of filth. But if you run 5 watts, you get 1,495 watts of filth. Is that how that
Yeah.
works?
Something like that.
I mean, getting on the right frequency is still not helping me any. So I don't know what's going on.
I'm
Must
gonna
be
walk
your
away
amp.
with a pair of 10s.
3, 2, 1, done.
Game over, man. Game over.
Do good.
All right, what do we got? Kansas, Jeff.
Take it.
Look at that sun.
Nice. That's our first straight, I think.
I
Oh,
think so too.
We've had a few
did-
straights.
Have we?
Oh, okay.
2 pair, which is on a regular day pretty damn fine.
2 per.
Yeah.
But Jeff, look at that, a straight. Holy moly.
I'd be happy with a pair right now. But
Right. Nate Griffin, pair of aces. Jason Mary, a pair of ladies. Christopher Anderson, Mr. Anderson, you got a pair of
Mr.
tens.
Anderson.
The Swede has a pair of
Mr.
sevens.
Anderson.
Chris Stevens has a pair of 2s. Jason Tetlow, also known as Cyber Jason, has a pair of 2s. And then we get into the sad people like Iowa Andy and Jay and me and Chuck and
I might be the last one on there because I had an 8.
there you are, Chuck.
2 of us with
Nope,
8s.
you're not the first. You're not the last loser. You just are a loser.
Colin is at the bottom with a 4.
Must have
and
got
Andy
Alan.
says he's got a 4-card flush now.
Yeah. 4 cards flushed. Not sure where I ended up. I think I only have 1 card. Yep.
14.
What'd you have? A queen? You're higher
The
than me.
queen. The queen, because I was sitting there running.
Man, I got my first
Amp
one like
drive power,
that,
not real
and then I
power.
couldn't get another contact.
Yeah, they were coming in easy at first, and then all of a sudden it just dried up for me.
Jay, I did not call you a sad ham. I just said you're a ham that might be sad because your hand is sad or something like that.
What's that website again? The website is buymeacoffee.com/CAHR, Coffee and Ham Radios. I'm sure that's the one that Bill
Big
was asking
Bill.
about.
You said Bill bought a new truck?
He did.
Bill, you need to send me a picture of your new truck, Bill.
It's a nice
You
looking
didn't even
truck.
tell me. You didn't even tell me.
I
You buy a
still haven't
bigger
seen
truck this
Bill's
time?
trailer. I never got around to doing that at Huntsville.
You didn't go over there?
No, I never
He's-
made it.
He's got it really well set up. I gave him a little suggestion on his bed so he could actually stand in the back of his trailer, and I don't know if he's done it or not yet, but just basically make it tilt up during the day.
What truck did he get?
I don't
What
know.
truck did you get, Bill?
I think he got a 250
Tell us,
gasser.
Bill. A 250 gasser.
Did he have that at Huntsville or he just got it?
No,
got
he
it
had his
post-Huntsville.
150.
Okay.
Going up
Yeah.
the mountain at Huntsville is what set him over the top to go get a bigger truck.
Bigger truck
tell
to
you
pull that
what.
trailer.
I had an 89 Chevy with a 350. Did okay for 89. It was like the best horsepower you could get. Then I had a little newer 454, which was a little better. But once I got my diesel, oh my God, it's like I'm pulling up the hill, pulling my 4Runner on a trailer. My brother-in-law said, "You're going a little fast, Thompson." I'm like, I'm doing like 50, 60. And I look over, I'm doing 80 up the hill because I wasn't used to anything that could go that fast.
That's 110
Rolling
volts
coal.
in your amp. Yeah, that's what
Yeah.
that
Huh?
was.
Yeah.
He's got his foot to the floor like old days.
It's not even rolling coal.
Back when his hair was flowing in the wind from the.
It was blowing. It was all long and shit.
Yeah, Chuck used to have long hair,
I did.
but Chuck had
Well,
Willie
it was
Nelson
down to
long
here.
hair.
No, I
That
had
was
really
before
good
you
hair
joined the
back
fire
then, when
department,
I
though,
actually had
right?
hair.
Could you imagine Chuck with braids?
It was pretty much gone by that time.
Yeah. Ooh.
A few
So you
years
never
after
had-
high school.
Do you have the beard in the fire department?
No, you couldn't.
Right.
Some guys would
Flammable.
do the lower,
Yeah.
You had to have a seal. We had a guy that
Yeah.
had it, and my chief comes over and he goes, you need to talk to him about that. I'm like, he just passed the seal test, so I don't know. That's our requirement. You have to be able to
Yeah.
pass the seal
That's
test.
what we did.
So what do you want me to tell him, chief?
Seal the mask
He was
on.
he was a fake chief. He thought he was a chief.
30 seconds.
That was an
good
administrative chief.
Yeah, pretty much. He by default type thing. He thought he was more chief than he was. If you get my drift.
Right.
Then we went through a bunch of guys that were just there to add our retirement to their retirements. They didn't really care about the city, so he goes to me one day, he goes, well, we need to look at I'm saving all mine for the next chief.
Right.
All my respect for the next chief. Because It gets hard to respect people that
It's the
come
one
to
thing
your
about
town
it's
and
the
don't
one thing about
really
volunteer
care.
firefighter. You're there because you give a crap. 'Cause
Right.
Why in the hell would I do this otherwise?
Oh man,
And
here
you
comes
have
an
these
ace.
thoughts. You have these thoughts as you're kneeling on the men's room floor of a juke joint at 3 a.m. with your wife, while you're patching up some hillbilly who stabbed another hillbilly and got stabbed back, and everything smells like pee, weed, cigarettes, and old beer.
Well, Jim
Yeah,
was
I go.
ranting. The sprint got started. Make sure your
Yeah, this
transmitters are
getting
active.
started.
We didn't have fake chiefs. I'm just saying that was, Chuck was talking about the guys who didn't care. Anyway.
Waiting on our first contact to come in. Who will it be? I bet it's going to be Andy. Andy's going to win this hand.
Oh wow, that guy's.
So Ed, are you the Phillies are still in it, right? I don't think you guys have played yet. You played this weekend.
Jeff's on the board with a 4.
The Braves went out 2 games and out, got swept.
2 games and out.
2 games and out, son.
I watched a little of the WNBA stuff, and it's kind of weird. They do the 3 games for the first one, but they play the first 2 games at the one place instead of each getting a game at their own
Right.
house, which is
Right.
kind of dumb. I mean, I didn't think anybody did that way, but they're a little. It's a weird league, let me tell you. I only watch it for one thing, one team.
Oh, I thought you were going to say their moms.
No, there's only one team that has a player worth watching, really. How come mine didn't go up on the board?
Because you ain't made it yet.
I did. I just got a QSO. It might have been a good one too. Huh. That's weird. Even when I get one, it doesn't put it up there.
Yeah, I'm taking a look.
There must have been something. Not
thought
No,
there
it's probably
was,
Chuck, Chris.
Well, he's going to find out.
I got my little part where it said to
I have something here where
confirm.
it says RST sent field was missing from the record or contained invalid data.
Oh.
Chuck,
If I
are you trying to
mistake.
hack us?
No.
Again?
You trying to
Let's try
pull some of that
different- Maybe it's my
NAYOS?
band I'm on. I'm on 30. Is that illegal on this one?
No, it's good. You just didn't have a signal report.
Huh.
It should say that in the bottom in the errors, but they're not showing up. So I have to take a look at
Yeah, I
that.
don't see the errors.
Yeah.
Yes, Stephen, that is how simple it is. Set up your secondary UDP in WSJTX. If you look at the top of the frequencyfrenzy.live page, there is a help section, and it'll tell you what to set it to. And that's all you need is that info. And N8YO has not currently cheated this game. He has only cheated the previous iteration. The new cheater is Liberty Cave, Rick, who I don't see today.
Oh yeah.
He's been sufficiently shamed as to stay out of the contest. Not a contest.
He may have decided it's too early on this coast too.
What is it, like 3 a.m. over there, Chuck?
Yeah, it's 3 a.m. Well, my second card went in. It's an improvement. At least I made 2 contacts this game.
The sun ain't even up over there yet, is it, Chuck?
It's light out now, finally.
Oh, I
So
got me a
watch out.
Swede. No, I got me a Switz. Switzerland, not Sweden.
I'm not
Chris, are you running slices on your Flex today?
I am. I'm only running one. It's no point in doing SO2R here, but I usually keep 2 slices open and run 2. I find any more than that is just kind of a pain in the butt to try to manage.
So you're saying there's no advantage to doing slices in poker, or no advantages because of the ban conditions today, or what do you mean by
I
that?
don't think there's an advantage in playing poker. I just I kind of pick and choose what I want to do. A lot of times I'll just throw it on. I'll just call CQ and that's it, and just see what comes in.
That's what I've been doing.
Yeah.
Luck of the
I
draw, and that's worked out well. But sometimes I'll hunt and pounce, or if I see somebody I want to make contact, I have one of those colors here in WSJTX. I apparently haven't made a contact with them, so I'll click on it.
Ed's got an image of LC wearing yesterday's clothes, his hair, his head unshaved,
Right.
hat in hand, walking back to his truck.
back to his camper.
Right.
I'm currently getting my little 250 ready for Quartz Fest. I came back from my little trip that I just took, and my front tire was like bald. I was wondering
Wow.
why I didn't have any traction in the front. Maybe that could have been it. I knew it was
How did that?
lower, but
That's
it
a
wasn't
new bike.
It wasn't. Yeah, it had 6,000 miles though. That was a stock tire on the front.
Okay.
That's about max for a tire on a bike. I knew it was low, but I
not
didn't
Jake,
know it was that bad.
Stephen Reynolds, you got set up. That help screen on the frequencyfrenzy.live page will show you exactly what you got to set in WSJTX.
Yeah.
And the logging is important also. With
Chuck,
your
I'm going to be in
power
Arizona in November. I've been thinking about how to get a bike and get it out. See if they have like a bike rental place, maybe.
Yeah, I may take my 4Runner. I got all the smog stuff done on that finally.
That's so cute, smog stuff.
Well, it's funny you have to
Here.
smog a vehicle that old.
That's why they want you to smog it, because they're not.
I was going to say that's
clean.
probably what they're doing, but
They want it off the road, is what they want.
if in Alabama, if it can move under its own power, good to go.
Well, Wisconsin was the same way. We didn't check any emission stuff up there because cars just didn't last long enough in the first place.
Right.
It was more like you still have that 1984 Honda Prelude on the road. Bless your heart.
Bless your heart. Yeah, that's like Northern Illinois, same kind of thing. If the salt don't get you, the psychos will. One of the
What
two.
do we call that? The Darwin
There's some
Awards.
China.
If you can make it home in that car,
Yeah.
good on you, son.
Looks like I have China in here. Let's try them. Isn't that a BX? Isn't that China or somewhere in that area?
Yeah, be something.
I'm trying to find
Just so
somebody
much-
I don't already have.
I'm trying to make sure I keep my truck and my camper out of the salt belt in the winter.
Yeah, especially in the wintertime, huh?
For more reasons than one. Like, who wants to
We
be in a
do
camper in the winter?
We do
Yeah,
sand
wouldn't you
here,
love to be stuck somewhere
but
in that thing?
there's still salt
the
in
snow?
that. I think it's not as bad as you guys, though.
They use sand on the
Are you going to try and get a bike before you go?
4
or
times
just
a year.
rent
They
one?
might actually have to do it.
I don't know because I don't have any way to take it with me after I'm done. So I'd have to consign it at the dealership or whatever.
You just put it in the truck bed.
Yeah, how am I going to do that? That's a marriage test.
You have a long bed, don't you?
I do, but it's got that toolbox in it, so it's going to be like 6 foot. You have to go in there diagonal, and there's other stuff in the bed, and I'll go out and I'll buy one. I'll immediately put it up for sale on Facebook Marketplace. I'll just keep turning them over.
There you go.
You can throw it on the front.
Yeah, but that's the long-term plan, is to get a more permanent solution bike and mount it on the front and just leave it up there.
I'm gonna change bands because I pretty much have everybody in here.
All right. Andy leading the pack with a pair of 10s. Scott, Eric, pair of 6s each. The Swede has a pair
I had
of
a straight going
5s.
for a second.
Tom, we talked about toy haulers. There's a reason I didn't buy a toy hauler. I wouldn't be in this glorious ham shack if I got a toy hauler. Steven's asking if he can work from his QTH and a remote at the same time. I don't see why you couldn't.
This ain't POTUS, son.
I don't know that it'd be an advantage unless your remote has. It's not how many contacts can you get. It's how many good contacts can you get.
All right.
Chuck, at the bottom. I'm only 2 ahead of you, Chuck, so I'm here in
And I got 3
solidarity
cards
with
this
you,
time.
brother.
I had a straight going for about 2 seconds.
Yes, but your cards suck.
It doesn't matter if I got a straight, Jim. But that's not happening.
That's not happening, brother.
Yeah.
That's
The
magical
RV
thinking,
garage-
Chuck.
Would make a really good shack, but the rest of the floor plan around a fifth wheel toy hauler isn't comfortable to our liking, which is why we didn't get one. We looked at a couple of them, but the living room, dining room, kitchen area is a cramped little tiny space. And then there's the bedroom that you wouldn't use during the day, and then there's the garage in the back.
Put a door on your shack. It's right through the side, man.
A door?
A little ramp door for a motorcycle.
An outside door. Yeah, no. I already cut a hole
shoot.
in the wall.
Yeah, just put a bigger one. We can do it in Arizona.
Right.
It's easier to cut a hole than, cover a hole.
Yes. It's easy to make it not waterproof than it is to make it waterproof.
Oh, waterproof's easy. Mine's waterproof, finally.
Jay, I'm from Nine Land, son. Kankakee. I drove in Chicago a whole lot. Yes, the Salt and
Been a
the
while
Psychos.
Been a while since somebody got to fill in Kankakee on their
Oh, that
bingo
don't look
card.
good, whatever that is.
Well, Chuck, we already got firefighter, and I didn't bring it up. Chuck did. So I need to rearrange my wall though, so I can get because my helmet's hanging above Macy's picture. I need to move her picture up higher, and
You can't see her picture anyway.
it's she watches the stream occasionally, randomly, just to see. There it is.
Is that a picture she drew? I don't see a picture of her.
No, there's no picture of her. That's something she made. That was a birthday present from my daughter.
Oh, okay. Okay.
What did she make?
It's
That white thing.
It's a picture of a radio. It looks like a Baofeng.
Our logo's
Jesus
over
Christ.
for me.
Where the hell is it? Which arm is this on? Right there.
The opposite of the one you think.
And it's a picture of a Baofeng. She painted all this. And then happy birthday, Dad. I love you, Macy. Something.
Cool. Put that over by your amp. There's room by your other ear.
Yeah, I think I'm gonna. That's a good plan. And I'll figure out which hand.
Looks like it wouldn't have as much shine off of it too. There, maybe.
Oh,
I'll move
His
this
head? No. His
over
head always has
here
shine off of it.
Well, a lot of
and
forehead.
move my helmet, which is here, down to there. Potentially, it might be time to 86 the Ham Shack hotline. I don't know. Actually, I need to move it over to the corner out of the way. The network cable's long enough.
I'm back to I can't make a contact again.
Bill, celebrate the small victories. He says enough accomplishment for the day because he actually made it to the board.
Right. Bill, there's no sense in being an overachiever, son. That's right.
He's 11th place.
He's got
Queen
that
10,
big
5.
flex, man.
Let's see.
He has a queen 10-5.
Yeah.
Better than my hand.
When was the last time someone called you on Ham Shack hotline, Jim?
Only during the show, usually.
1923.
Yeah. It's usually just Joe Brett.
Joe Brett. I've talked to Morton on it, I think, a couple years
This is
ago.
Terrible.
And I talked to Michael, Ohio Michael.
Okay. Yep. So we got some housekeeping to do. Jay, W9JCR, sent in a $5 coffee. Thank you very much, Jay.
Thanks, Jay.
Thank you.
buymeacoffee.com/CAHR. Chris is like, I don't dance.
He needs some milk.
You don't want to see me dance, right?
Right.
Son, really. I mean,
White boy got no soul. Let's just say
right.
that.
Got no rhythm. Rhythm.
Andy's running a doublet. What antenna y'all running in the chat? Let's talk about antennas for a minute. Chuck, what you're running one of our linked dipoles today?
Yeah, I was.
Who you was? Then you changed your
I've
3,000
changed
position
around.
antenna switch.
One of you jerks is calling on it right now. Yep.
I bet it's Morton.
Could be Morton.
Answer it. You ain't doing nothing.
I ain't winning this hot mess.
Oh, I heard it.
It is from Kansas Jeff. Yo.
Ham Shack Hotline. This is
We
Jim
ha-
speaking. How can I help you?
Let me see if I can figure out how to use this phone. I never use it. Are you on
Thank
speaker?
you for holding. Please hold.
Yes, you are. Jeff's on speaker.
Hi, Jeff.
There's Jeff. Hey, Jeff.
Jeff cannot hear you guys because you're in my
We know.
ears.
He can hear us over the
Well, yeah, he
Delay.
can hear you over the
Stream.
stream.
it's a little delay. It's like
All right.
15 seconds later.
Yeah. All righty. See, the only time anybody calls me on it is when we make a comment about it on the show, and then someone's like,
Yeah, we can hear him because you're
Your noise gate's cut.
game over. Perfect timing.
right. Let's see if we
Say
can.
that.
30-foot long
was not
wire.
good.
Let me move
Wow,
a mic
Hertz.
over here by this thing. I don't know how well that's going to work, but say something, Jeff.
Hey, I'll say something.
No, that works.
Yeah, I'm hearing him now too.
There you go.
There you go, Jeff. You're live. This is your first time. You need to call Tom and say, Tom, I'm on Coffee and Ham Radios. Where are you, slacker?
I just had breakfast with him this morning.
Ah,
Three-way calling.
right.
This is more like 50-way calling.
Yeah.
Party line.
How complicated can we make this at one time?
Exactly.
So, Jim, what kind of service can customers expect when they call you on Ham Shack Hotline?
They can expect me looking at caller ID and screening their call.
Grouchy,
Number one.
grouchy service.
It's like, I don't know
You
that
put it on
name.
Do not disturb, right?
I think, yeah, you can. Yes. Yeah. I could put it on Do Not Disturb, but I like looking at it and screening it. Do I like you well enough? No. Who are you? Nope, definitely not.
So if you call Jim and it doesn't answer,
You know you've
why.
been screened.
Let's.
Yeah, there's one in the shop. I've got these linked. There's one in the shop and there's one here. And if I have the app running, I can also answer it on my cell phone, which is the only way Joe Brett ever answers when you call him.
yeah, he gave his Ham Shack Hotline phone away. So looking at the scoreboard, our winners for this
Thanks, Jeff. See ya.
recent
Bye.
for this recent sprint was Andy, pair of tens. Doesn't take much to win, pair of tens. Sorry, Andy, no offense. Bruce Poor,
Kinda
another pair of
harsh.
tens. Jason Mary, pair of nines. Christopher Anderson,
wow.
pair of sixes. And then Scott with a pair of sixes. There's a lot of pair out there. I see a lot of nice pairs. Eric Randberg, pair of sixes. Morton with a pair of fives. Jay with a pair of twos. And then we're out of pairs.
I'm on 6 meter right now. It's hopping.
6.
And
There's nothing on there.
next round starts in
But
3
anybody
minutes.
in California, try me on. I'm going to send my CQ out on 6. Anybody in the California, maybe even Nevada area.
Indonesia
your
on
way.
15.
Eric says he's running a doublet. Chris is on an end-fed half wave. I'm sure that's Coffee and Ham Radio's end-fed half wave. Whole bean coffee. We can see what we can do about putting that back in stock. Sure. Let's see. Ham till it hurts.
It's out
Our
of
buddy
stock?
Scott, 130 foot, 9-to-1 long wire
Not bad.
with a 52 foot counterpoise. Wow. Somebody's flexing. Look at my big real estate.
Yeah. I got a lot of grass. You shut up, you poor people with your tiny yards.
Right?
Hey, listen, mine is ghetto as can be anyway. My DX Commander's jammed in a corner because of power lines and cattle fences.
Might go out and tune my little QRP.
My brother-in-law actually mentioned to me a couple months ago, hey, you could move your antenna out in the pasture if you want. Like, son, how long do you think it'd last for one of your stupid cows went?
Maybe I'll do a how-to on how to tune it. People always ask
How to tune what?
how to tune antenna. Sometimes I did it one time before with the radio. A little harder to do, but most people have the radio, so.
Russ, a 213-inch Wolf River coil vertical. I don't know how long 213 inches is. That's like,
Divide by 12.
that was
17.
18
That's
feet.
18 feet.
17 3/4 of a foot.
I just guessed.
Yeah.
41 foot random wire. Might be in the
Nice
Aries.
head. That's what we spec on the Aries is 41 foot.
It is.
130
Nobody's
foot
answer-
end-fed half wave.
Nobody's answering me on 6. I don't believe it.
They don't like you. You're seeing people on 6?
It's so quiet. There's not even any movement on my meter. Period. And not even noise movement. I'm on a Yagi, so that does help, but it's like S1 noise.
I made a contact on 6 during the old FT8 off like 3 years ago. And I was as surprised as anyone.
I made when I was in Yellowstone on the what I have up there. I had the Poseidon up, and I made contact on 6 next door to my house, basically, I'm in grid 8. What am I, grid 87, 88? I made a contact in grid 87, which is like less than a mile from my house, probably, in one direction. I don't know. I just looked at 15. It's like dead also. $10 and $30 have been the best for me so far.
It looks
But
like
30,
the
I only had like
next
5.
sprint has already started.
people.
We're waiting for contacts.
Oh,
Oh, I'm
I
glad
guess I
I
better
didn't
fi-
accidentally make any early.
yeah. I
My
guess I better find
FT8
it.
today is just. I got to go out and check that antenna because I'm willing to bet a radio got weed-aided.
So,
Yeah.
Chris, when you take care of the score, are you looking at the start of the contact chain, or are you looking at when the contact log is finished?
So we look at the start and end time that's stamped automatically by WSJTX and JTDX on the data that comes over. So we know when it started and when it ended. So it has to fall within the time of the sprint.
So you have to start the contact
Before
after the
it
sprint
ends.
starts.
Yes.
And you have
Has
to
to be
start the
made-
contact
The
before
start,
it
the
ends.
start and end have to fall within the period of the sprint.
Gotcha.
So you can't start your transmitter a minute and 14 seconds before the sprint starts,
Ooh.
hoping that 15th second is going to get you the first contact.
Pro tip.
Ooh, what was that noise?
Somebody buzzing, getting some RFI. I'm going to blame Chuck. He looks serious.
I thought it was me. I thought maybe I. No,
That's 'cause
no,
I put my
not
ear
doing it
back.
here.
Jim, I threw you a bone today. I didn't blame you.
Thank you. I can go about my day now happy.
Right?
All right. I'm getting medieval on this.
How much power, Jim?
Depends on how loud you want the fan. That was
I heard a little
awkward.
bit. I saw the screen on the amp go.
I think that was my UPS complaining.
Not enough power.
Must be time to change the battery.
Look at that. I got a queen. And he jumps to the lead for at least 2 seconds.
Yep.
Queen of diamonds and queen of clubs, first and second place. So you keyed up the amp and your UPS complained, so that means your wall socket's not putting out enough power?
I don't know what that means.
Your UPS is trying to fill in the void?
Something's browning out. I mean, it just comes on full when I key up.
It's just the neighborhood when you turn on the amp, right, Joe?
Right.
There's a screen on this thing, and I can't remember which button it is. I'm afraid to push buttons and turn the damn thing off.
Do
There
it
it
live,
is.
Jim. Speaking of doing it live, we are going to hit up our last hardware TNC on Monday.
Oh my God!
The
No, we're not.
Cantronics. No?
I got one coming
Oh, nice.
from
You
Australia.
got
I
one
told
coming
you
from
that.
Australia? Yep.
Yes.
And then there's another one. There's a PK96 that's coming in. We'll have to test that one out also. But that's going
I've
to take
got
a
an-
while to get to me.
Well, I figure. So the one coming from Australia
First contact was Russia.
works, and that's coming from Scott. VK7
Worked when shipped.
HSE, and that's an
Worked when
MFJ. Huh?
Worked when parked. Working when
Worked.
parked.
Worked when he unplugged it to send it to me. VK7 HSE, I think is his call sign. Yeah.
Nice.
And yeah, Scott reached out to me after the show on Monday and said, "Mate, you're welcome to this." And I said,
Yeah.
"End it." So he has dropped that in the post, and if the Roos don't get the mail truck, it ought to be here probably next week, this coming week maybe. But anyway, so what I had thought was, if we can get one of yours working and this one works, then maybe we can do actual packet radio.
Yeah, that would be
'Cause-
nice. I found out.
Because I don't think we've actually seen packet radio occur yet.
No,
at
we
all.
haven't. Even outside of Nuggets, I had mine on for 24 hours and never heard a single station.
Didn't get a peep.
And so there's a whole lot of weirdness going on with that though. So 14105 is the dial frequency, but your alignment on your radio and your alignment on the TNC need to match. So you might be at like 14105.77. And then a lot of people were talking about the mark and space settings. So Bob, KK4DIV, Bob Plank, who came on the show, he's got his set up and he says, I never modified the mark and space settings and I'm making contacts all day long. So I would assume that the mark and space settings that are built into the PackRat TNC series are the default that everybody has standardized on just because of, force of will from AEA. Chris is asking, can we do some packet radio with a Raspberry Pi, something more modern? You can. There's some software called Direwolf, and there's some software called Lin BPQ, like Linux BPQ. I don't know what the BPQ stands for. And there's also for Windows, Win BPQ, that you can use to do all of this stuff. So you don't need a hardware TNC. We were just, fingers crossed, hoping we could get these things working. And apparently we don't have enough brain power to make it happen.
You need me to come in there and help you with that?
Yes, please,
stuff?
Chuck. Yes.
I might just hit the right button, just poking stuff,
That's pretty much how I solve all of my problems. Just randomly change things. Try it now.
I'm afraid to sometimes because I may not be able to fix it. But
BPQ is the call sign suffix of the developer. All right, awesome, Scott. Thank you. We did a show on Network 105 doing software modems a long time ago on Nuggets, and I think we were successful. I'm just going to let my ego have that one, whether we were successful or not.
Oh, Malaysia this time.
Let's take a look at our scoreboard. We've got Chris in the lead with a pair of queens. It's rigged. Scott with a pair of fours. It's another pairs wins all. Andy with a pair of threes. And then everybody else with not much going on. Morning, James.
My last card. Oh, I got 3, 5, and queen. Great hand. See,
so when I met James,
Indonesia and Malaysia were a 3 and a 5. That's a pretty good jaunt for me.
When I met James, he came up and he's wearing a shirt that says POPHAM on it. And I thought it was like, Pop, Grandpop. And he's a ham, Pop Ham. But that's actually his last name. So I was wrong.
Let's see. Malaysia.
Oh, we lost Jim. Chuck, do you know anybody on the fire department in Jim's neighborhood? Might need to call.
Jim who?
Do a wellness check.
Jim's neighbor? No, I don't.
Jim who? He just dropped off. Jim who? That was quick. Don't even wait for the grass to grow.
Malaysia, 8424 from me and Miles, and for you guys across the pond, 13,557 kilometers. Not bad for a wire antenna, I guess. Oh, I made another contact here. This one's in the U.S., it looks like. Wow. Still nothing, though. Got a jack out of that one. I think I'm out of people in this band, though. Did I get that guy there? I got that guy. Let me do this. That's the problem when I only have so many people in the band. It's the only band I'm getting any luck at, though.
15's been real good to me right now. It's really jammed here on the East Coast. So
I had nobody on 15.
Yeah, I'm seeing Indonesia, Europe. I'm kind of getting both sides of the globe.
I just got a guy here.
I'm going out on a POTA rove starting tomorrow. I'll be in 4 different states over the next 4 days. So come find me.
nice.
Really?
What
think I
states
got
are you
maybe-
hitting up?
Well, we have to head up north to go pull get the cabin ready for winter. So I'll be heading to Minnesota. But so we're going
Minnesota.
through Ohio, Indiana, Missouri,
Wow.
Iowa, and
places.
then back into
Where are you at
Minnesota.
now?
Pennsylvania.
Pennsylvania.
And my wife, bless her soul,
Oh,
said, hey, there's a state park that's a POTA park in all these states. We're going to stop with the kids and you get 2 hours. I was like, yes. So that was
well,
nice.
I'm done with nothing. Let's see if I haven't placed anywhere close to the top 9.
And the wife says she has to go to the bathroom. You just happen to stop at a park.
That's right.
I don't
it's
see any
number
problem
10.
with that.
Especially when it's right off the side of the highway, right?
Right.
I'm the 9th loser right now. I was thinking about throwing my 705, my little, what is it called? Micro PA 50, and my little
Don't forget your power
buffer
cord.
kit, and my power cord. I don't need a power. Well, yeah. Well, I need my little power box that I made the other day. I ran that. I was showing the guys yesterday. I was running my PA 50 off a 3 amp hour Bioenno, which was like, it doesn't pull much. It's only 4.5 amps at around 50 watts.
That's not bad at all.
Yeah, pretty efficient. If my little meter's right.
So I've kind of been thinking about is do I get a little 100-watt amp for either the 705 or my QMXs?
So I was checking it with this thing.
Yeah.
I assume it's at least close.
Close enough.
100-watt amp. That little micro PA 50 is pretty nice.
Is it?
It's only
It's
50
not-
watts.
it-
though. It's tiny.
It'll do 50 watts.
Now, there's that.
Well, if you look at
there's-
Michael does all his KB9 VBR. 50 watts is all he runs.
Yeah.
But I'm sure he's on everybody's watch list though. That doesn't hurt.
Yeah, it'd be nice to have a little power, but something that was portable enough to pack away. You know.
There's a couple. Don bought one. I don't think Don's here, but he bought one. I think it's 100 or 150 watts. Not super small. I was trying to finagle one for a test to review it, but
I've seen a few of the they look like clones of the Elecraft, right? But they don't have the tuner in them.
yeah, that's that one. But I think it's 150. It is like, I watched a review on it. It was like 130 or so is what it actually put out. But I think but below drive ones, that's what this little PA 50 is. Tell you the truth, I told the guy, Ape goes, throw that 705 in your backpack. I go, it's too heavy, dude. It's too heavy for a backpack.
I'm
So
surprised
Tio
the
says,
KX2
I don't think it
weighs
would be that
less.
Oh, wait, I can take the amp and the KX2. It's lighter and takes up less space. But I lose the nice screen. I lose 2 meter and 70 centimeter. I think I lose the other bands. I lose
You
6
lose the
also,
waterfall,
which I
yeah.
might do. The waterfalls. I would believe that if Elecraft threw a little, the screen's big enough in that thing to throw a screen. They threw a screen in that thing, they'd kill it. It's already a great little radio.
Well, yeah, you got to get the KX4.
I guess the KX4.
Yeah, they
Well,
don't
their
make it
screen
yet.
in that thing's their K4. The screen's beautiful.
Yeah. And when you plug in
But
an
I guess-
external display, you get full screen resolution.
I guess it's just not worth it to them to do that because they sell the crap out of that thing anyhow. I mean, it's probably the best all around if you want to do everything portable radio for a backpack. If you want to do CW or SSB. I mean, there's great little CW rigs that are smaller and lighter probably, but they won't do SSB. And that's, for me right now, that's all I can really handle. I've been chasing a little bit on POTA. And I totally screwed the first one up. The guy caught it on video so I could actually hear myself. I thought I was pretty fast at 15 words a minute until I listened to it. And it's like, man, that's really slow.
About 10 seconds.
Well, I'm not going to do any better. I'm at 13. Oh, it tells you what number you are right there. I'm dropping as you guys get context. I was
Game
dropping.
over.
Yep, game
right.
is over.
The game is gone.
There's
So
a
who our winner is.
Have you seen the white amp, Chris? It's all white. And they make a copy of it. It's I forget the brand. I know the one you're talking about that looks a little bit like the Elecraft. I've got a
there's
Yaesu
that,
one that's
and then
like that.
there's
Looks like it.
and I have another amp from these guys because I wanted to try it out, and it's the 60 dBm. It's the folks out of Ukraine,
Mm-hmm.
and they make another little. It's a 100-watt amp with all the bandpass filters in it, but no tuner. That's like $400, which doesn't seem like a bad deal for something like that. But
I think for me, if I do soda and I can get 50 watts out and not have to carry anything heavy, that's not too bad. I've got my little Denko battery, which will run it. I mean, it ran off of a 3 amp hour, but I don't know how long.
I do a lot of digital, so I'm also looking for something that's not.
Oh.
I mean, I don't want to put out a 100-watt digital, but it's got to be
Right.
able to handle the load. So.
I have to tell you, the fan on this Micro PA50 comes on every time you use it.
It's probably just set
So
to
it stays
do that.
cool. It is.
Yeah.
It's kind of annoying in the shack because it's not super loud, but you can hear it. Like outside, you don't really hear it, but inside you do, where it's quiet.
Let's talk about these scores real
Expert.
quick before the next sprint starts. We got Iowa Andy with a 2-pair. We got Jay Rayleigh with a different 2-pair, not a good enough 2-pair. Chris with 2 queens, not enough to get a flush. And Jason 2 jacks, and Eric 2 tens. So we're back to having a lot of pairs this time. Russell with a pair of 7s, Scott with a pair of 4s, and then all the rest of y'all runts out there. So, yeah, that Micro PA50 puts out 50 watts, and it's a small size, small form factor, which makes it really nice.
Yeah.
Right.
I can show you. It's a little bit bigger. This is the amp that looks a lot like it. It's a little bit bigger. It's about this big, about the same depth.
I think I've seen pictures of it before. Yeah.
This is
that's
actual.
that's a tuner.
Tuner, right?
This is a tuner, but it's not. It's hooked up to a bunch of wires. I can't grab it easy.
I mean, that Elecraft looks sweet, right? I mean, it has the 100-watt amp
Yeah.
and the tuner all built in, but
Yeah.
it's like $1,600.
I've got a Yaesu 100-watt amp that looks like they copied it because it's old.
Right.
You can't buy it anymore. And that thing will put, with 10 watts in, that thing will put 100 out, or actually a little over 100, but no tuner in it also. But it's an awesome little amp. But it's too big to carry. I was looking for something to carry in a backpack if I wanted to. I can show you this. Here it is.
I have this thing, but it's 0 dBm in and then 10 watts out. So
Nice. That's the MXP50M.
I was going to look at the other one up. I think I know which one you're talking about.
Hey guys, I'm sorry, but I'm going to have to run. You guys have a great Saturday. Enjoy the rest of the poker games, and good luck.
All
All right, you too. Thanks.
Have
Thanks,
fun.
Chris.
Be safe.
Absolutely. Have a good one, guys.
What happened to James?
Who?
So that Micro PA50 is 167. Yeah, 168.
So our buddy Bill
man,
is asking
here
about
it is.
the Juma amp.
The Juma's
actually
the
looks
one I was
pretty good.
talking about.
Let me
There's
share
a
that
there's
out.
there's a fake Juma also.
This looks like it's a kit that you put together.
They make it in a. If you go to the top, it's what it looks like, right?
Yeah, you got an analog version and a digital version.
I think you can buy it made. I'm not. Oh, that's a kit there, but I think there's a knockoff of it, and it's supposed to do 150 watts, but I think it's closer to 130. Does he have that Juma? And is it any good?
I think he was asking for an opinion.
Oh, I know Tech Minds did a review of it. That's the only one that I really know of. That's him and Ape are tight. The Tech Mind guy, I forget what his name is.
Huh.
It looks fairly small.
Yeah, it doesn't look big at all.
Does it give dimensions? It looks wider than. It looks way bigger than my little one though.
I am looking.
And let's see where we're at here. I can look that up. I think. Oh, it just looks like we just started.
All right, our next sprint has started, folks. Get them transmitters running. Well, that's not bad. So there's your power amplifier module on the left, and that looks like the
Right to the heatsink.
pretty standard design. And then you have your filter board over here on the right.
It looks like the old chip. The what do you call them? Pill. Looks like a pill
Yeah.
from a
That's what they look
11
like. Yeah,
meter amp.
that's what they are. 2SC 2879s.
Yeah, it's a different one.
Oh, Jason Mary's first on the board with a 7 of clubs. I didn't see purchase information on this because this just goes in circles.
The fake version of it is right now $335.
So this is RO Waves, PA 100D. One-year warranty. All HF bands except for 60 meters.
What's other
Up to
Andy's call sign?
50 watts. AA0M. AA0AM.
Just tried him. Let's see if I'll get him. See in here today?
599 euros.
Euros.
You have to change the filter board? Or is that just look how cool I am because I have this cool test stand?
I don't know. It pays to know people. Andy answered me. I think that's the first contact I've made on 20 all day. Let's see what he gets me, though. What card does he get me? What do you think?
Oh, that's funny.
Why is it?
They show you the amp board, but they've blanked out what the pills are, or they just haven't installed them at all.
Oh, they're not installed there.
It's just a hole through the PCB. Okay, yeah. Not bad.
Andy got me a 5. Yeah, that little micro PA50 is perfect for throwing in a backpack, though.
Yeah, it'll
Now, my
fit
buddy
in my
Hobby-
705 bag.
Yeah, my buddy Hobby's like, I'm tired of messing with those things. He used to do that. And he had that other one, that little I forget the number of it. It was one of the first ones they came out with. I don't think it was all that great to start with. I think he was lucky to get 20 or 30 watts out. It was supposed to be like 100 watts or something. It was totally bogus, like a lot of this stuff.
Uh-oh.
James, where you been?
So apparently the UPS that I repurposed to plug in the stuff,
See,
killed
it's
it?
off.
that was the beeping. And I have more than one UPS back here. So I thought it was this one behind me, but it's this one under my desk. And you know how hard it is to locate a howling beep sound? It's like, what the hell is beeping? I can't tell.
Well, your ears are pretty old, so.
Right.
You did that
They
fire
are.
engine stuff.
Audio discriminator.
Right. My audio discriminator is not what it should be.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost as bad as the random smoke detector that goes off when apes on the stream, but only when apes on the stream.
Kathy keeps telling me, she goes, you need to get your hearing test. I go, that's fine.
Yeah. So James is asking you, Chuck, to talk about your battery box.
Which battery box?
I guess the one you're taking with the KX2 and the PA50.
Oh, that's just a Denko battery that I was going to take with that. But I've got a couple different battery boxes. I got one with a 30 amp hour. I've got just a box that I put a 20 amp hour battery, which I really like. I can show you guys that one. That one's pretty cool.
So I think this UPS that I had plugged in couldn't really handle the amp being on and drawing current because the UPS is like new and I probably haven't used the amp since I plugged the UPS in. And it's not new, it's, oh, hey, I have this UPS, let me plug it in here.
Number 2.
So when I keyed up the amp, that was what that was, and then everything went sideways, and I'm like, okay.
So if
Then
I've got a video on this battery, the EcoWorthy, which is it really doesn't need a case because it's in a case, and I think they're on sale right now. If you go to one of my to the video, there's a link in there for it. If you would buy it off, that'd be great.
that is fancy.
But this is a cool little battery.
I like
They
that
sell
case.
they sell another 20 amp hour without the case for cheaper. But I like this one. And if you look at the top here, it's if you have a Bioenno, that Bioenno will charge there, or you can charge off of
So
here.
that's a 5525 DC jack, top center.
Yeah.
Is
There
that
you go.
input only or input and output?
I never tried it for output. I just used the regular contacts for output because I hooked
Yeah.
a
Stick a meter in
power
that
pole
bad
to
boy,
those.
Charles.
Let's watch it spark on screen, son.
Come on. I've already had electrical problems today. The entire southeast grid went offline for a couple minutes.
They did.
You missed a
killed
couple of
them.
nice pairs while you were gone, Jim.
Yeah.
Everybody had a
We were going to
pair.
call the fire department, but we didn't know anybody in your department. So
Believe me, I'll handle it long before they get here.
oh, I got a straight going again.
Did I swear too much before I cut the mic and everything off?
Oh,
Yeah,
no, we
hopefully I
caught
I
all
got you,
that.
though.
Okay. There might have been
We got
swearing.
We got some more housekeeping. Our buddy Philly Ed sent in $5. Thank you very much.
Oh,
and
nice.
Stephen
Thanks.
Reynolds
Thanks,
got himself
Ed.
on the scoreboard and sent himself in $25 to support the
Very nice.
scoreboard and the developments and everything.
awesome.
Thank you very much, guys. We need to dance it up, Jim. I had to wait for you to come back.
I'm dancing.
I just make this up. Go where the music takes me. Feel the rhythm.
Go where it
He
takes
needs
you.
some milk.
I'm back to not being able to make contacts. Andy got me all pumped on 20 here, and then I can't make a contact after that.
Well, I'd shut everything off during the incident, which this wasn't the problem at all. It was
This time.
just at this time, yes. The favorite words of all cops and firemen on the radio, at this time, the structure is completely involved.
Yeah. That's always the one they want to hear, huh?
Yes.
Everybody has been evacuated. We have a permanent water supply. We had to repeat all that stuff. Even if when I was PC, I had to repeat everything the captain had already put on the air, which they want to keep stuff off the air, but I guess they just don't quite trust the captains.
I guess.
Well, you were a captain, you know.
Yeah. Sometimes I was lucky enough to actually say that we had that because I was busy doing other things. The captain actually is really busy. And if you're the engineer and the captain happens to be on the fire, guess where everybody comes to? The engineer. I don't know.
Absolutely.
Find the captain. I don't know where he's at. I'm busy trying to get a water supply here. Sorry.
Right.
If you want to help me, you could bring that hose over here to my hydrant.
And see, a lot of our stuff does not have hydrants down here.
Oh, really?
Some areas are.
We were
are
lucky
hydrant.
on that.
So we roll with tankers 99% of the time, and we have to pull off the drop tank, set it up. Tanker has to dump and then start water shuttle operations, which is
Oh, you set up a above ground water supply for it.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So
All
that
the
stuff
pumpers-
takes time too, man.
all the pumpers carry 1,000-gallon tanks in them.
Oh, really?
So we got
Man, those things must be slow.
Chuck, I'm driving on country roads.
We
That
only
big-
did 500 gallons, and it's taxing on those.
That big
I actually-
bastard don't need to go that fast with 1,000
true.
gallons of water sloshing around in it.
One of our
What is
guys
it,
used
8
to
pounds
slide
a
around the
gallon?
Corners.
8 1/3 pounds per gallon.
Yeah, that's a
Yeah.
lot.
So that's like
So-
2 tons of water,
Yeah,
500
4
gallons.
tons. 4 tons. Oh, for my
4,
trucks. Yeah, 1,000
5.
gallons.
Oh, if I get a 6 and 7, I'll be good here.
And then we have a
Who made us
2,500
get it?
gallon tanker and a couple of 1,000 gallon tankers. So they were doing the thing. We had a couple subdivisions that if we caught a fire there, and we have more than once, they have hydrants up there because they're actually on city water, not local waters. So we had good pressure and buku water.
Oh, really?
However, the civilians always bitched because it's a small little neighborhood and there's going to be a fire hose across somebody's road, and y'all can't go see Meemaw right now. Sorry.
That's right, and that's when they have to. And
How
it's
inconvenient for
surprising
them.
how many. It's surprising how many people don't know their own city and how to get around. Like we have a lot of streets that go around stuff, and we're like, you have to go around. Well, I need to go right over there. I go, just go one street
around.
over, one street up, and one street down.
Yep.
Oh,
It's a block.
I've
Yes.
never been that way. Yeah, it's a whole extra block or two.
Yeah. Stephen
Well,
Reynolds, Slovak Republic from Washington State on the Poseidon. Nice.
All right.
Either way you went, son, that was a hell of a contact. That's a
Yeah.
that's a long way.
Is it long path or short path, or are they equal paths?
What
Shoot, it's
band was
got to
he
be
on?
close
'Cause
to.
I
It's
got
got to
that.
be
I got
close
a guy
to.
on 30.
I would guess it's got to be close to equal. Closer.
Where am I at right now? Oh, I'm on 10 meter. I said 20 earlier, but I'm on 10.
And the number of civilians who want to drive over the fire hose, well, I'll just drive over it. I drive over the hose in my driveway all the time.
And you shouldn't do that
Right.
either.
Yeah.
How do you replace that hose in your driveway? A lot.
Well, now that you
Okay.
mention it,
When I was working as a kid in the gas station, we worked on this road, and people would come in and ask you, "Where's the road that they just came off of to pull in the gas station?" So if they were like not a cool person and they're just not being very nice, oh yeah, you go up that road there, follow it all the way around, make a right at the stop sign, and then you'll come to the road. You'll tee into the road, same road, but
right.
you usually do that if depending on the person when you're getting off work. They never figured it out though. They probably went home that way. Did I get my last card? Nope, I got one more card. I gotta find somebody.
Theo, what's coming up on your channel?
I have a 9-to-1 to test. A 9-to-1 wrapped on an odd core. We'll see how well that works out. And
Is
then
that one of our antennas, or is that a editor antenna?
it's a Ziggy antenna.
Oh,
There is no
Lord, Ziggy.
competition. There are only alternatives.
That might
We are
call
the
a
best.
hurricane. That's Florida man's antenna. That could call a hurricane.
It
He
could.
actually
Or a
wants-
stripper named Amber.
He wants us to sell one of his antennas.
Mercedes.
And we might do that. Who knows? I don't know if the other guy's. He's probably talked to Ape about it. I'm sure.
Chuck, what have you got going on?
I've got a review to do on a hot water heater. A portable one.
Is that ham related in some way?
It is. It is because I'm an expedition. I have ham radio adventures. I go places.
Adventures.
Adventure is
Go
whether
outside.
that hot water is going to have enough hot water for you to take a
that
shower.
hot water heater is going to work good in my shower and my trailer because this one is pretty cool. Because my other one I had, you had to turn it off and relight it every time you wanted to get the water. So I just took it and ran it in the bucket that I was drawing from, so it recirculate. So I didn't have to keep starting it. Well, this one actually has the piezo, so it lights as soon as you hit the.
So it's
water
actually like a fuel
Propane.
source that makes water hot.
It's propane. It's about this big.
Because don't they make solar hot water kind of dinguses you can set
can.
up outside?
Yeah, it's a
You
black
can, yeah.
PVC pipe on your roof. Yep. You
Yeah,
fill it full of
right.
water, and the sun heats it all day long.
Man,
Scott, I know. I have another friend like you, Scott, who goes, "It's not a hot water heater. It's a water heater. It heats cold water."
true.
Can't tell a ham a joke.
Right?
So
I think I just
Actually-
call it water heater. I never say hot water heater, but I think that's where
Well,
you're from too.
you see the things that people send you, like perfume, like that has something to do with. At least I can relate this. Say you go
to the adventure part of your channel, right?
or you go to field day, and you're the guy that has to clean up afterwards, right?
Yeah.
Please, I'll
bathe.
figure some way of trying to sell it. Please,
Right.
Well, I mean, just clean up the guy
Ham-
that does
hams
the
that
barbecue
bathe
for you.
regular
'Cause
are more
what is field
appreciated.
day really? What is field day really? It's a place
A
to go
cookout.
eat and drink, right?
Beer
Yeah,
drinking.
cookout. So
Yeah.
there's cleanup afterwards, right? Tell us what you think, guys. Tell me what you think.
Right.
So coming up on Chuck's channel is you get to watch Chuck take a shower.
That's been done before. I don't want to steal
almost
that
came
for a
out.
good game.
That almost came out.
I
I've
could
got
do that,
2 or 3
but I have
things
to
I'm
clean
planning
my
on
trailer out.
doing here in the near today.
Yeah.
They're not all going to get released today, but some CW related stuff, a computer related thing,
We're
a nice
done.
little Raspberry Pi kind of replacement, I think,
All right, our last
Number 6
sprint
this
has
time.
come to an end.
and tuning a mobile antenna.
Nice. Oh,
I'll
we,
actually be outside for that. I do go outside frequently.
we stopped getting
Where at?
pairs. We got trips.
Wow. I got
Alexis,
I finished
surprised
number
you're going
6
outside
and
too.
have nothing.
She's like, what? I go outside all the time. First of all, I go outside to smoke. Otherwise, I'd die because
Right.
my wife would kill me. And then
Yeah.
Oh,
I go
2
outside to
ways
mow
you
the
would die,
yard,
right?
and then go outside to cut the grass, and I go outside to go to work.
All right, so we got Andy with with 3 5s, and then we're back to pairs again. Jason with a pair of 7s and Eric with a pair of 7s, and then that leaves us with a whole bunch of runts. We kind of ran out of good cards this time.
Yeah, I mean, I finished 6 with absolutely nothing. Well, I had a queen. I was queen high, but that was it. And Scott
So that
beat me
is
out because he
our-
had a couple better cards.
Last sprint for the day.
Poi
And unless
Poo.
y'all have
Poi Poo?
any,
You been to Poi Poo?
no.
I don't even know what you're saying.
POIPU. I think that's in Hawaii. My memories, my photo memories just came up on my phone.
That's precious.
It is. It's pretty cool.
I've
I
been to
send it out
Hawaii.
every once in a while.
Hawaii is nice.
It rains a lot, but I think that's why it's so pretty. Well, yeah, that was. I always enjoy this, even though it's the nighttime does better for me. I think.
I need to go validate my radials because I have a feeling they're dorked up.
You tell them that they're good radials. You do a good
Right.
job.
Good
You're very
radials.
nice
Do a
looking
good
radials.
job, radials.
You're better than the radials next door. And they're like, thank you.
Oh man, I just did.
Oh
something.
lordy,
Damn it. I was
Tio,
pushing
so
buttons.
we're gonna do more packet loving Monday night.
We're going to pack it till we make a contact.
That's
That-
right.
that could be
Is that our
forever.
official goal? That could be
No.
a year of PNCs.
No, that's why it's not a goal, because we could just never make a contact.
Right.
We need to get 2 working TNCs, and we are 4 TNCs into the evolution so far.
I think that's right.
Because you had
Yeah.
2 pack rats, I had a pack rat and an MFJ.
Well, I had
And then I've got-
I had the PKT1,
Yeah.
and then you sent me a 232, which doesn't do anything.
You got to get that chip,
Yeah, I'm all over that.
right?
I don't even know if it powers on. I haven't messed with it. I haven't had time to sit down and pull it out and mess with it. But
It should power on. We just got to take that front screen off. So
Yeah.
that you can remove that the rest of the broken chip and put the right
Yeah.
chip in.
and if I can find a schematic for it, I can hopefully identify the right chip.
Well, that
I
one should
think
be
I'll
written
probably.
out.
Well,
That was a
I don't think I
74
kept that
series.
chip. I think I threw that away.
10
James, you
meters
were
is
correct.
popping.
We could go buy 2 new TNCs and still have trouble making contacts. Yes.
Right.
There's a whole lot
Absolutely.
of myth and magic and witchcraft that goes on in
What
making a contact.
what is the new TNC run? I as far as I know, used ones are somewhere between $20 and $30 for 1 or 2.
I'll
What
say
is a
look
good?
on
What is a
Cantronic's
good
website.
TNC right now? If I wanted to buy one and frustrate myself with packet on a regular basis, what have I got to drop?
Oh, let's see. KPC3 Plus. Shop now. $249, and that's a USB serial
Ooh.
port on the back.
Ooh, I don't know if I want to do packet quite that much.
You know you do.
No.
Versus $40 at a Hamfest. And I guess
Right.
at this point, we're about $140 in.
I have dropped $40. Well, actually more than that because I had to buy something. I forgot. Whatever, but yeah. Bill, that is not. I am not a professional pilot, son. I have to go to work every day, and I see the same boring office every day. At least your view.
Oh, is Bill
changes.
talking smack?
Bill is
He
saying
says-
that's walk around money. Make it rain. I'm like, I'll make it rain for 40. I would go $70 on a brand new TNC.
If Bill's a guy that runs the high dollar flex in his F-150.
In his mobile F-150 ham shack trailer thing, that's pretty
So,
awesome.
Let's put that in perspective there.
Right.
It was. I didn't know. I didn't figure out till like the last day that he had it. He goes, "Oh yeah, I've got it with me." Unfortunately, his computer was almost dead by that time.
Chris
So I didn't really
KI4WCO has a KPC3 Plus.
KPC3 Plus.
Yeah, mine is just the KPC3, no plus. No plus, no USB, no nothing.
Now, Bill's pretending he don't have a flex. What flex are you talking about?
He's talking about the flex in the truck. He ain't got a flex in the truck. He's got a flex in the trailer.
Got
It's
a
in his
trailer
trailer
flex.
now. Yes, now it's
Yeah.
in his trailer. His trailer had just been stolen. I think when he had it in the truck that time. He was sleeping in his truck that weekend.
It's a black
Unfortunately
box.
for him,
True.
he always looked a little tired.
All right, fellers, go forth and ham today. Watch some videos if you're watching. Make some videos if you're making. Make some contacts if you're radioing. That's going to be kind of hard today with the band conditions we have seen this morning. We will see you Monday night on Nuggets on Temporarily Offline Ham Radio channel.
Mm-hmm.
Click in the
Later,
button.
everybody. Later, all.